What's up, YouTube? I'm Shotgun Shogun, and this is the actually showcase Shogun because that's where this video will end up going. We're going to be opening up the Flare Tamamo caster CCC. I did look this up right before we started this video, and it looks like it's going for around $200 right now. Which when I got it, it was more along the lines of like a 135 to 150 figure. So it has gone up in price, mostly because it does look to be like it is out of stock in most stores. I am going through some of my stuff now and decided, hey, you know what? I need to unbox some of this stuff because I need to clean up my spare bedroom. So we're going to get into this. I like these boxes. I like the plastic, like, see everything box, because here's one of the big things when it comes to a box for a figure, right? I want to see what I'm paying, especially when it comes to a figure that is in the like 125 plus range, right? If I'm just buying a prize figure for $35, $45, I really don't care too much. But once you start getting like 100 plus, I want to see the figure. I don't want to just see a picture of the figure. I don't want to see, you know, whatever is on the box. I want to see the figure itself. Even if the figure is in like a couple of pieces, I want to be able to look at this and go, okay, yes, this is something that I want. This is something that I want on my shelf. That's really what it is. And so whenever you get a box like this that's just boom, here's everything, I always appreciate. Now some people might be like, well, it doesn't leave anything to the surprise. Like, I'm paying $150 to 200 bucks for this figure. I don't want anything left to surprise. I want to see what it is that I'm getting. Now I do like just the extra little flair on the box, like the little, you know, rose petals and the flower petals, stuff like that. The other nice thing too about like the plastic boxes is that usually they break down pretty well, and you can store them a lot easier than cardboard boxes, I find personally. But that's just my opinion. Now you will also see that they do have the picture here on the side, but realistically you can just flip it here and see that as well. So, you know, I do like that that they have both of those options. So coming out, everything's nice here. You've got all of your keys along the side. Easy. This figure looks like it is going to be very straightforward to put together. And personally, I like those because I am always super paranoid about breaking something when it comes to a figure, right? Like just the small tiny little pieces that have to go into something. I'm always just perpetually frightened that I am going to just put just too much pressure on it and then it's going to snap and then I'm going to feel bad and I'm going to have to try to super glue it, and you know, it's just bad times. It's just bad times. That's really what it ends up feeling like. Now, one thing to note, if you're opening figures, a lot of times it is easier just to break the tape on one side, pop your keys, so this way you have like a nice little foldy centerpiece. Just personal preference. Now if we take a look here at the base, you'll see the flower pattern that we saw on the box is also going to be here on the rose petal pattern is also going to be on the base. Now I think a lot of times bases for figures can really make or break a figure, right? You don't think about it. You don't think about it because, well, it's just the base that the figure is going on. But at the same time, if it's just a bare bones white or black base with no flare, no nothing, just some pegs. It just looks, I don't know, boring. Just add something to it. Even just a little bit of texture. There was a Summer Artoria figure that just had like a little bit of texture on the base, and it added a whole extra level to the figure. Now, with the Fate figures, a lot of times bases very much are a part of the figure as well. Just like something I wanted to point out. Now, if we start pulling this out, as you can see, this is already good to go. There's no extra pieces. I don't have to pull anything out from behind her fluffy tail. There's nothing here to do except for enjoy this figure, which is what we're gonna do, and we're gonna talk about it. Now, I am a big connoisseur of Tamamo figures. Tamamo is one of my, well, I'm pretty sure it's the most like per character. I have more Tamamo figures than any other figure, and so I have gotten very critical of things like gradient on the tail, ears, just stuff in general with the figures. Now, one thing I'm going to point out here, and I don't know if you guys can see it, if you'll be able to see it, but there is, on the white down here for her tail, it is very reflective. It's not matte, it's very shiny, which doesn't match well with the brown, which in parts it's matte, in other parts it is a little bit shiny. So with like the light that I have coming down here, it's very jarring. It doesn't work together because like her thigh highs are matte black. Her thigh highs are matte black. There's not really much shine on the thigh itself. Her hair here along the chest is not shiny, but her tail and the back of her ears are both very, very shiny, and they reflect the light extensively, which, considering the fact that, I mean, even, yeah, like if you look, I mean, this booty is not super shiny. The thigh highs are not like overly shiny. It is a little bit shiny with the light, but it's for the most part very matte on my side. Now, they have sculpted this butt very, very well. This is a very well sculpted behind right now. We're a little bit out of focus, but they put in some work. They put in some work sculpting that rear end. Now, going on to the points that I like so far, I really do like the oversized hoodie. You can see it right here that, this over here, that there is even the gap between shirt and the bra. So this is a very nice touch right down in here. This camera setup is really weird for me. But again, the jacket itself is very matte. Now, I do like too, if you can look back here on the back, you can see that there's a hood that's down. I would actually really like to see a figure with that hood up. I think that would be really, really cute to have the hood on her ears. It'd be almost like looking at like Nitocris, right? I don't particularly like this face. It doesn't feel Tamamo-esque to me. I don't know how to, it's hard to put it. There was a Nero figure that had a very similar face that just felt off. The other thing too here is that the eyes are very obviously just straight stuck on there. There's not much depth to them. While it's okay, and I understand that like a lot of other figures are very similar, like take this for example. This face, in my opinion, is a bit better. This face and these eyes are better than this face. and these eyes. I just not a huge fan here of those. The paint gradient that is on the ears is okay, but if we take a look here, tail to tail, you can see that the gradient here on the Summer Tamamo tail is just leagues different, right? Like, it's just a whole different paint job. And while this Tamamo has more granular detail in the tail, I feel like the paint job is just not as good. I also feel like the cuffs down here for the ribbons around her feet could have been a little bit more pronounced. They could have been like maybe a different color. They could have been like this red that you see like in the frills here would have stood out at least like a little bit differently. I think that would have been a solid option. The scrunchies here on the hair are pretty good. Here is how she sits. I think that it's not too bad in general. This is a 125 figure, in my opinion. Like, I would not pay 200 for this figure, but if I got this, which I think I did originally for like 125-ish, this is a 125 figure. There are good aspects of this figure. It's Tamamo first off, and she's really, really cute. I do like the base. I think that their paint fluctuations between matte and gloss are a little weird in terms of their decisions there. Oh, I didn't mention this, but the detail here on like the hand is actually really good. A lot of times, like, folds in shirts and stuff like that is really hard to do, so I'm going to give them bonus points on that. And then the folds here in the front for the hoodie is really good. Some of the paint choices, again, meh, but overall I do like it, and it's another Tamamo to go with all of my other Tamamos. One day I'll have to do a video of all of my Tamamos. I still have a lot of Tamamos to unbox though. But that is the Fate CCC Flare Tamamo French doll. I'm gonna give it a 125 out of 200. That's my rating on this. If you have this, let me know in the comment section what you think about this. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. As always, take care, and I'll see you then.